The South River Post Office, 1824 to 1942, presented by the South River Historical and Preservation Society. South River's first postmaster, Frederick A. Klein, was appointed in 1824 when the village of Washington was part of North Brunswick. The first post office was located on DeHart's Lane, now called Pottery Lane. Klein held the position until his death in August 1829. William W. Conover was appointed to replace him. The first female postmaster was Clara Mark. She took over as acting postmaster when her husband Joseph Mark died in October 1919. She was subsequently appointed to the position in her own right. Joseph Mark was the mayor of South River from 1901 until 1913, when he resigned his post to accept the position of postmaster from President Woodrow Wilson. The location of the post office changed many times, perhaps with each new postmaster in the early years. The earliest known photograph of South River's post office was taken in April 1894 by R. Van Dyke Reed. Henry Schroeder was the postmaster at that time, and the post office shared its Main Street home with Schroeder's hairdressing parlor. In early 1895, after William Morgan, a local undertaker, took over as postmaster, the post office moved twice. In January, it moved to the Perry Building, 2 doors down from where it had been. In April, it found a new home in Citizens Hall, next door to the Perry Building. Citizens Hall was home to the post office during the terms of 3 of South River's postmasters, William Morgan, Charles Whitehead, the owner of the building, and Samuel Gordon. In 1903, during Whitehead's term, the building was remodeled to improve its appearance and to better accommodate not only the post office, but William Morgan's furniture store, his undertaking business, and the stairway to the upper floor. The top floor of the building housed a large auditorium that was used for meetings, social events, and entertainment. On July 10, 1908, Citizens Hall, along with the 2 buildings that had served as the post office before it, burned down. Samuel Gordon, the postmaster at the time, was able to remove the stamps and money to his home before the flames took hold. The fire, which started in the Schroeder Building, destroyed much of the block. The post office was temporarily relocated to Baird's Confectionery Store in the Clouser Building after the fire. In January 1909, 6 months after the July 1908 fire, the post office moved into the recently completed Gordon Building. The new building was erected on the spot where Citizens Hall had stood, and Undertaker Morgan once again occupied the second half of the ground floor. The Gordon Building, located at 30 to 34 Main Street, survives to the present day. In July 1916, while Joseph Mark was postmaster, renovation of a portion of the Mechanics Building was completed in order to provide a new home for the post office. Located at 66 Main Street, the building was home to the Riverside Council of the Junior Order of United American Mechanics. It was while the post office was located there that free home delivery of mail was instituted by Postmaster Clara Mark. In 1921, Andrew Sicknick and Harold Fair became the first mail carriers. In 1929, during Charles Herman's term as postmaster, the Barra Building was erected to house a new post office across the street from the old post office in the Mechanics Building. Business was said to have increased to such an extent that there was not sufficient space in the old office for the proper handling and dispatching of the mails. The post office remained at the new location until the current post office was completed. In 1938, the federal government authorized the construction of a dedicated post office building for South River. The groundbreaking for the present-day post office took place on November 25, 1940. The building was constructed under the auspices of the Public Buildings Administration of the Federal Works Agency, part of Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal. The dedication for the new post office on Obert Street took place on June 1, 1942. Charles Hauserman was the postmaster at the time.